Hi guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you know, my name is Coxie the Brand, and in this video I'll be showing you how to take a budget trip from Nigeria to Benin Republic with only $100. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, especially if you're interested in traveling around Africa. I'll be visiting Rwanda and Kenya from next week, and I'll be bringing you all the travel tips. I like to experience a bit of both sides when I travel, so sometimes I do luxury and other times I'm on a budget. When I left Lagos, I traveled in a private car from Links Rentals for 120,000 naira. If your budget for the whole trip is 150,000 naira, which is around $100, then this is clearly above your budget. There are a few ways of getting to Benin, but in this video we'll focus on the most affordable options. Hi guys, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm super excited. Today I'm taking my trip to Benin Republic. It's my first international trip as a travel blogger. If you're like me and you're not aquaphobic, then the most affordable option may be to travel by boat. For this, you need to take a bus or a taxi to CMS Marina, where you will find the jetty. This trip costs 7,500 naira, so you end up spending only 15,000 naira for a round trip, which is about 10% of your total budget. Because I traveled to Benin by road, I had to go through the Seme border. The first thing I did here was, of course, getting my passport stamped by immigration. Next, I changed my naira to Sefa, which is the local currency used in Benin Republic, and then I stopped by an MTN store to buy a new SIM card. My next step would be to head into Cotonou to find a hotel. If you're traveling on a budget, then you don't need anything too fancy. You can find your way around town using public transportation and asking lots of questions. There are several websites where you can find the right accommodation that suits your budget. I found a hotel where I paid about 10,000 Sefa per night, and it was decent, so your accommodation budget could be around 50 to 60,000 naira. On my way to find a hotel, we went by a couple of attractions like the popular Heritage Wall, which is reported to be the longest graffiti wall in Africa. We also came across the symbolic Amazon statue. It was International Women's Day, so of course it was important to take a picture with this 30-meter tall statue built in homage to the world's only all-female army. When I found my hotel and put down my bags, I still had some time, so I decided to travel to Wida, a small town where you have the historic Python Temple. You should expect to pay between 2,000 and 3,500 Sefa here, depending on your tour package. The next day, I decided to go to the beach. I went to a restaurant by the beach called Kali Kali. Here, I spent about 7,000 Sefa on food and drinks. On my way to the beach, I saw an abandoned aircraft that caught my attention, and I decided to take a closer look. I paid 1,000 Sefa to get on board, and it comes with a tour guide that tells you the history and the story behind this aircraft. Before you take your trip to Benin Republic, you should know that not many people in this country speak English, as it's not their first language. You would find more people speak French and their local language, which is called Fon. Considering the fact that you're traveling on a budget, you might not be able to afford a tour guide. You could just use Google Translate in order to communicate with the locals. After my second night here, it was time to go back to Nigeria. I took a motorcycle from Cotonou to Port Novo, where I'm going to take a boat to Lagos, Nigeria. Port Novo is the capital of Benin Republic. This place is known for having lots of colonial buildings like this one. Before leaving the country, I had one more place to visit, and this is Le Panthéon Negro and African, a museum which was established to pay tribute to the heroes who fought for Africa. It cost 2,500 Sefa for a tour of this museum. The tour guide here speaks only French, so if you're not able to understand her, it might be a bit of a challenge, but again, you could always use Google Translate. It was finally time to go back to Nigeria, so I headed to the jetty where I was going to take the boat. The trip from Port Novo to Lagos is about 3 hours long, so in no time we arrived CMS Marina. Of course, there are several ways to go to Benin Republic, but if you can't afford a luxury trip, then you can use this video as a guide to travel on a budget. You might end up spending only $100 in 2 days. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this video with a friend who you would love to go on a budget trip with.